from a worldly standpoint,
Yes.
that we know that Europeans eventually had a superior gunpowder, all the things that contributed to them being able, in the Industrial Revolution and all those things, contributed to
Yes.
them being able to get power all over the world. But then there's a larger question of, what did we do something that would bring that kind of that upon us? And so that question always remains for some of us. That's like, what did we do that would
Mhm.
bring that kind of wrath upon us? So
Yeah.
I just thought it was very interesting that you brought that out in your work.
I'm just saying that it's very, very obvious. Some things can be measured by the results we see around us.
Right,
And one of
exactly.
the results that we see around us is that we don't understand the source of what racism is and all that, and why these people who were called black, we use that term, and these people who were called, we are, because I am of this group and I'm of these people, ethnically, that is my identity
Right,
all my life, so we still have a different, even if we just talk about the Atlantic slave trade, or we talk about slaves being dispersed around the countries, that goes back to a prophecy. And
right,
so you look at that prophecy and you say, well, what was that God talking?
right,
I will scatter to them and disperse them, and they will know that I am God. Somewhere in there it says they don't know God.
right.
So
And then there's something that and that's we deal with some of the universal laws. One of them is the law of cause and effect, which deal in the human domain is karma, right? So because one of the things that they talk about when you deal with karma is that there's nothing that can come upon you that you didn't somehow bring upon yourself, either in this life or in your previous lives, right? And so
yes.
if that's true, and I think we look at the law of cause effect, which is real scientifically, the laws of cause effect is real, karma is real.
First of all, we change every day. I mean, the physical body does
Right,
not stay
right.
in the same form. We know that from how many of us into that little egg that we were, in our
Yeah,
mother's womb.
yeah. For that little egg,
I
we
mean,
were.
that changes every. But when you freeze it, even at the mummification process,
Mm-hmm.
when you freeze it, you have interfered with a higher source. That's
Right,
why you can see that property that says, I will scatter the Egyptians and disperse them through the land, and they will know that I am God. And then
right.
I would deliver to cruel lords. Because that
Mm-hmm.
one is Ezekiel. And we've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Cruel lords will rule over them.
Right.
Thus saith the Lord. And we don't examine that as closely as we should. What are
Mm-hmm.
the cruel lords that ruled over the Egyptians? And who are the Egyptians? Okay?
Right.
Those are that. It's all bound right up in those. And then the thing is, I call it a burial fast. I call it a penalty against the people who are born, which is
Mm-hmm.
because the penalty is redemptive.
Right.
But if it was a curse, which is a word I avoid,
Mm.
that's not redemptive. So
Right.
we don't say that. God is not in that position. One is the mummification process, and it's very complicated because I don't know of any. Maybe there are, but I don't know of any extensive studies of the whole process of mummification as it related to
Mm-hmm.
the ancients, in the sense of how they developed, and
Mm-hmm.
how their lands, the scattering of the lands is obvious too, because the Nile Valley people did not stay,
Mm-hmm.
the original ones, and yet you see, the point is that I'm not speaking this as a textbook, and I'm not
Right.
speaking of it as who's decided how it should be. The Egyptologists, the reason and the way they interpret it, we're supposed to take that and examine it. It's
Mm-hmm.
very difficult for me
Right.
to examine those things because what I am presented here did
Mm-hmm.
not come from those examinations.
Okay.
Yet there's a basic truths there. The
Mm-hmm.
body disappears at some point. I can't see my mom sitting in front of me anymore. She was 72 when she passed. And others of us, we can't even, if it was a child, we can't see it anymore.
Right.
In that form. And even if we see it at a one stage, it changes into another. But when that final is taken,
Yeah, you got to keep your phone still.
no longer than that, ever walk around and talk again, because the flesh goes back to its origin, which is at the soul, which you explained in that. That's simple. That makes sense to me.
Right. Right.
I don't challenge it. The point is, if they committed that, what would have redeemed them, or what is the redemption? Because we're still under a kind of a cloak of subordination to others as a people.
Right.
And our lands, which once were, are usually occupied now.
Yeah.
By others.
Right, and it makes you really do wonder, because you're like, what happened? Because not only were black people dispersed all throughout the diaspora, but the continent was colonized. It's just, it was seriously, and it's still going on, and we're still dealing with the after effects of it. So, you have to raise the bigger question from a spirit. You can look at it from, we recognize that a group of people who have gotten power over the planet. Yes. But then you have to also look at it from a spiritual standpoint. Like, what is it that would cause such people all over the world to come under the control and domination and oppression of a group of people? So it does raise the question of, did we do something? And there's something that would bring that on us. You have to look at that from a big spiritual standpoint. And when I look at it, even things that I see going on in black people in America, and you look at, it's like, how did he end up over there, and this happened to him over there, and her over there, and all these things that go on that happens to us as a result of our experiences here in the U.S. For example, black men getting killed by the police. You just outside, now you dead. You know what I mean? So it raises bigger questions, and I think people who came up with this whole thing, who however they came to the conclusion of karma, of the laws of karma, that, how can... I think it was, we always want to have some understanding as to why things happen the way they happen, right? And so it doesn't seem like the universe would be that unjust,
yes,
right? That something would come upon you that you didn't bring upon, that you don't deserve, right? It just doesn't seem like the universe would be that unjust, right? And unless of course it is. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem. It doesn't fit well with your heart and your mind and your spirit. And so it does raise the question of, what did we do?
Yes.
So
why?
Why? Right.
And why would that have happened to a specific people?
Right.
People?
Right.
I think we would all agree that the racial thing is right now fundamentally in our face every day.
Exactly.
Time, who owns what and where everything. There has to be a source. There is a source of it.
Right.
And the purpose of our work, basically, I presented the question of religions, and we use the term religion, that addresses that question.
Right.
Where do we get, unless we go deeper, where do we get an answer for this person and the basics?
If you think about it, right, because it's like the whole continent came under siege, but it's not just the continent. India came under siege. The Native Americans came under siege, and so so it happened all over the world, and so the big question is, what there has to be some answer other than what we know is the obvious, and I'm saying from a more spiritual standpoint. And so,
yes.
And
that may be something that we say, you're all talking about questions that you can't answer because there aren't any answers that we can measure.
Right.
As far as what happened to us and why it's still happening to the specific people.
Right.
Or the descendants of the people. Because the whole story is not really that. We don't get the whole story from the Bible. I'm not trying to get into that story of what is the Bible anyway, and what does the Bible tell us about ourselves,
right?
And what really happened, and why we're still having this in 2022, this kind of combativeness between these particular people, and why is it associated with skin color at some point, which really had nothing to do with anything as far as where we are.
Right.
What was that?
And all, I mean, and although there's a historical, you can look at this historically, and what white supremacy and all that, and how it developed. It's a more recent development, but it's amazing how that construct was used to just dominate, control, take over. I mean, seize the world basically. And so,
you gotta come up with the behavioral pattern of whites is aggressiveness and dominance. Is that the way we can explain it, or is that the way it can be explained?
But see, the other thing about that is that behavior is not just, and I'm just going to say it because it's real. That behavior is not just subjected to white people. People all over. It's people. Because you look at other cultures, even throughout Africa and all over the world, people have dominated other people and done some heinous kinds of things toward other people. War is part of the human condition, and so it's just interesting. Yeah.
There'll be a lot of confusion, and I mean, there still is, because as far as that's concerned, well, they did that among the Germans, well, they did that among Hitler, but I mean, that's not the point of our work. I mean, I'm only going to come from where I'm coming from.
Gotcha.
Which is from
right.
Knowing from a spiritual point of view, this is how we can interpret it, and it will make some sense.
Right.
We have traditionally excited from that point of view. We're the first people that look like myself, people of my race, can be measured as being the earliest.
Right, exactly.
Of human beings that were, on the earth. Those kind of studies have been done.
Yeah, exactly.
My point now, and then a lot of things that you're saying that I don't recognize, because when I look at it, the things like the reason that the soul is supposed to recognize, that kind of thing, I haven't ever really studied that or looked at